Hey everyone, I'm Epion, and today we're playing some Commander on MTGO. We're gonna go first. We're playing my Damia Sage of Stone deck, and it looks like our opponent is playing Ezuri, Renegade leader, so looks like we're gonna get some elf action. I think this hand is actually okay. We do have the turn 1 preordain, so hopefully we can set up our next couple turns. These are actually both great, so I don't think we have a turn 2 play, so we're going to want to stack them like this so we can play Guildgate next turn. Ezuri's a pretty sweet commander. This is one that I have a paper deck for, and he can definitely just turn the tide of a game so quickly. It can be really difficult to deal with. Going first, I think, definitely helps us out quite a bit. It's a little disappointing we're not going to be able to get this Nighthawk online, but we'll see if our opponent has anything to play. We may just play Breeding Pool untapped in case he goes for Ezuri. Damia is a pretty sweet draw. I think we're going to go ahead and pay the 2 life to hold up a counter spell or Soul Tie Charm, depending on, if our opponent decides to do anything along those lines. We basically have a way to deal with a creature, monocolored, or artifact or enchantment, and also a way to counter spell. Unfortunately, paying the 2 life doesn't help. I don't think we really care about that, honestly. It's not worth a counterspell, that's for sure, so you can have your Wood Elves. Gilded Lotus isn't a bad draw. If we get to that 5th land, then it's definitely going to be much better, obviously. And Slime is also great. This Wirewood Lodge can get out of hand sometimes with elves. And they can produce a lot of mana very quickly. Let's see what he's going to do here. Moldiah Channelers. Well, I think we'll go ahead and let this resolve just to have a peek at his top card. Okay, Elvish Vanguard. Good to know. You have anything else for us? No? Okay. We'll go ahead and use the Soul Tie Charm to destroy this Channelers. Black Sun Zenith would be great if we had a second black source. This hand is quickly becoming a liability. We need a 5th land to get to Lotus and Slime. We don't have double black for Nighthawk or Black Sun. An Aether Adept bouncing this only gets him more value, so it's definitely not worth it. Yeah, Elvish Vanguard is fine. Elvish Harbinger is not something we're real interested in him doing, so I think it's definitely time to go ahead and use this Dissolve. The Scry is definitely something we need. We got to get to this 5th land drop. Laboratory Maniac is bad. That needs to go to the bottom. If we don't meet our next land drop, we may just have to play Aether Adept with the intention of bouncing the Elvish Vanguard. It's not ideal, but I think it's going to have to be something that we do. Well, that's another land. It still doesn't get us to Black Sun Zenith, and it won't allow us to get this Gilded Lotus down. I think we just have to try and stem the bleeding here a little bit, as it were. Play this Aether Adept, get this Elvish Vanguard off the board. It also keeps the Wood Elves from getting in there. The 1 point of damage isn't, obviously awful for us, but we don't want to keep taking a lot of hits we don't have to, especially because we're playing a much slower deck. This could be a pretty scary turn from the Elf deck, basically not having to worry about a counterspell, and basically having free reign this turn. Probably going to see Ezuri, yep. If we could get another land drop, that would actually be really good for us. Then we could play Gilded Lotus, and then follow it up with Black Sun Zenith. Coiling Oracle's not quite there. It's actually a pretty awkward draw, given the fact that we can't play it off of Gilded Lotus, and we would really like to Gilded Lotus so that we can try and get ahead a little bit. I think what we're going to do is go ahead and slam this Lotus, and then we'll use the Lotus mana to play a Vampire Nighthawk. It's going to at least give us a Death Touch, blocker. That way if he feels like he wants to get in there and use Ezuri's trample ability, that's fine. Okay, Copperhorn Scout. Okay, he's gonna play his own Acidic Slime, probably to kill our Gilded Lotus. It's probably the single most damaging thing he could destroy. He knows we're behind on lands. Yep. Not much we can do about that. He's all tapped out, so I doubt he gets in there this turn. Polluted Delta is great. We're going to go ahead and crack it now. Get us a second black source so we can use this Black Sun. We're still at a relatively healthy life total, so I think getting another blue source or another green, well, let's say we got 4 green, so another blue source is just going to be better for us. He's all tapped out, he can't do any regenerating or anything like that. Not that regenerating does much to Black Sun Zenith, but this is definitely going to be the time to do it. Actually, we're going to undo. Oh, not concede. Nope, just undo. Basically, we're going to be throwing away our Nighthawk anyways, so let's go ahead and gain back the 2 life that we paid for this Watery Grave. Alright, now that we're post-combat, we'll go ahead and play this Black Sun Zenith. We'll just go ahead and play it for 4. We don't have anything to hold up, so... hopefully this will help us turn the tide a little bit. And we'll go ahead and send it back. Okay, Hunt Master. I actually feel like I'm pretty confident just playing Damia here. I don't think that the green deck is going to have an efficient way to deal with her. And it is going to give us a big blocker. We're also starting to run out of resources in our hand. And we'll send it back. I'm hoping our opponent's not running something like Beast Within, for instance, or something like a Prey type effect where our creatures are going to fight. That'd be pretty bad for him, obviously, because of Death Touch, but... well, he's playing something big, it looks like. Okay, that's 7. Maybe something like Genesis Wave or Green Sun Zenith. Okay, he's just playing Ezuri. Looks like he just maybe overpaid. I'm not sure what's happening now. Looks like he still has priority. I don't know what he's doing at this point. Let's see. Oh, he's asking us, how do I untap? So, let's see. So we'll tell him right click and undo usually. Sometimes this client doesn't like it so much when you tap mana like that and then you play a spell. It just commits the mana to your mana pool and you can't get it back. So it looks like he's trying not to let the spell resolve because he obviously wants his mana back. Let's see, probably because of the spell on the stack. That's why it didn't work. We'll see if it lets him take it back now. Doesn't look like it. Nope, doesn't look like he can untap. I'm assuming that's what we're waiting for, is he's still trying to get this worked out. It's pretty unfortunate. That's one of the things I don't... There's lots of little nuances with playing Magic, you know, on Magic Online. This being one of them. You know, obviously if you're playing a friendly game, you're at home, Or even if you're not, you know, you're playing in tournament Magic, you can easily fix something like this. And it just... it's sort of frustrating when something like this happens and you can't get it back out of your mana pool. Oh, looks like he's just accepted that that's not going to be a thing. I guess we'll see whether that ends up being a pivotal point in the game or not. Thank goodness we're going to fill up our hand here. This isn't great. 2 tap lands is obviously sort of annoying. So we'll go ahead and just run one of those out, gain a life. I think that sliming this Wirewood Lodge may just be, you know, a good advantage for us at this point. I know that that card allows some pretty degenerate combos with elves. So we'll go ahead and clear that. And unfortunately, because of the tap land, that means we don't really have... Oh, we're going to need a blue there. Blue. We don't have access to more mana, so we can play this Cultivate. Syncopate's actually pretty good, except for we had to tap out that turn to try and clear our hand a bit. I really, at some point, want to get this Tamio down and start gaining a little bit more control of the board. We're not doing a great job right now, and he has Ezuri up with Regenerate and plenty of mana for his Overrun ability. That's something we're going to have a hard time dealing with, unfortunately. Okay, and here's 7 mana. Let's see what this is. Last time it was an over tap, so... Okay, looks like it was maybe an over tap. It's back down to 6. He may just be playing his overrun ability, you know, pre-combat. Nope, now he's untapping more. Oh, now he's tapping it all again. Okay. The War Caller. That's pretty good. So his other elves are going to get pretty beefy. That's pretty good for him. We do have a couple Death Touch creatures, so I'm not sure that attacking here is going to do what he wants. Yeah. Alright. Hopefully we draw into some removal this turn. No Profusion's not great. Jace isn't great either. It's gonna give him cards, and it's basically just gonna draw us 1. I'm not sure that that's good enough. I think let's go ahead and play Jace. We'll go ahead and draw us a card. See if we can get into that piece of removal that we really want. Even getting to a tutor or something like Black Sun would be good. Omniscience? Omniscience could actually be pretty good, especially once we get Null Profusion down. So I think we're definitely going to Cultivate. This next turn is going to hurt really badly. I'm actually not totally confident that we could survive. Let's say this would be 7, 14, 21, 21, 30, and then assuming that Ezuri gets in there, that would be 38, so we'd have to block most all of it. But I think we're just going to go for it. We'll go ahead and grab a forest and a swamp. Put the swamp down, hold the forest. So next turn we can play Omniscience just with what we have down. Drop Null Profusion. Basically I have the ability to draw 4 cards off of there. That actually may not get us there unless we draw enough removal. I guess we'll see. Actually, even with Omniscience, even if we get something like Black Sun, we're going to basically be tapped out. Oh, there's Priest of Titania. That's one of those cards that obviously gets abused with Wirewood Lodge. So I think we're feeling good about getting that Wirewood Lodge off the board. I would assume our opponent's probably not going to commit much more and head into the overrun plan at this point. Although it is noteworthy that if he does do that, and he swings with everybody, we do have a couple Death Touch creatures. It looks like he's going for... Okay, Momentous Fall. That's good. So sacking an elf token, drawing some cards. That's great. That means that we're still another turn without overruns. Okay, destroy target creature with flying. That's fine. That doesn't really hurt us at all. Let's see if he gets in there. He only has enough mana to regenerate 1. Nope, okay. So we're feeling a lot better about this turn now. Oh, Dig Through Time with Omniscience down is going to be great. Alright, so let's go ahead and slam this Omniscience. Don't want to overpay. Okay, so there's Omniscience. So let's go ahead and play Null Profusion so we can start getting some more cards. Play this forest. We're going to go ahead and yield to Null Profusion. Okay, we'll cast this Farseek. Massacre Worm is great, so if we can get to 1 piece of removal, then this is actually just going to be a huge blowout for us. Just going to play Tamio. Golgari Charm gets us close. Okay, we'll go ahead and cast Arcanus. Okay, Bloodstained Mire. That's not great. Okay, let's go ahead and cast this Dig Through Time, see if we can find a piece of removal. Or a Tutor. A Tutor would do what we need as well. There we go. The Go for the Throat is exactly what we want. So is Runescarred Demon. So we'll take this, and we'll put everything else back. So we actually got 2 pieces of removal now. So I think our best bet is to go ahead and go for the Throat. This Commander. Go ahead and cast Beast Within on this War Caller. This was a huge turn for us. We're going to go ahead and slam this Massacre Worm. Which is going to be huge. Oh, and there it was. Massacre Worm does it. This guy's always a house. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll leave a like. It's always appreciated by me and it helps my channel grow. Also, let me know what you thought of this game in the comments below. I'm always interested to know what you guys thought of the game. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. But until next time, this is Epion, signing off.